150 years ago, a small cotton trader dreamed of transforming India, unaware that this dream would give birth to a business empire that would change India and win the hearts of millions of Indians. This is the story of the Tata Group. Get ready to be inspired. The year was 1839 when Jamsetji Tata was born. By 1858, Jamsetji completed his education. He then joined his father's cotton trading business. Despite facing numerous challenges over the next 10 years, their business grew significantly. However, Jamsetji was not satisfied with just trading cotton. He wanted to manufacture clothes from cotton himself. So in 1877, he set up Empress Mills in Nagpur and began manufacturing. But there was a problem. Workers were not very serious about their work. Almost every day, 20% of the workers were absent, took weeks off and couldn't work for long hours. To address this, Jamsetji came up with an innovative solution. He launched a provident fund scheme for the workers, ensuring they got a pension after retirement. Additionally, he provided medical insurance and organized events like family days and sports days. Top performing workers were rewarded publicly at these events. Due to these initiatives, workers felt valued and both their attendance and performance improved significantly. Many of these schemes were so futuristic that they hadn't been implemented anywhere else globally at the time. By the 1880s, Jamsetji observed the growing demand for independence in India. He believed that for India to become independent and sustain its independence, it needed to be self-sufficient, producing all essential goods domestically. Consequently, he started building various Indian businesses in different sectors. He began with strawberry farming in the hills of Panchgani, which led to Panchgani being renowned for strawberry farming and jam production even today. Jamsetji also noticed that the weather in Bangalore and Mysore was similar to that of France. So he imported silkworms bred in France to India, in Bangalore and Mysore. He initiated the Tata Silk Farm organization and encouraged local farmers to breed silkworms. This initiative resulted in the popularization of products like Mysore silk and Bangalore silk saris. Jamsetji had a great affinity for his hometown, Bombay, and recognized the need for a world-class hotel there to boost the city's development. Therefore, in 1898, he began building the Taj Mahal Hotel. He personally oversaw the construction and design process, ensuring his vision was realized. Every room in the hotel faced the sea so that guests would feel as if they were floating on water. In 1903, the hotel was opened to the public, becoming the first building in Bombay to be lit by electricity. Jamsetji Tata's steel was needed. The Tisco plant worked day and night to meet this demand. After the war, the then Viceroy acknowledged Tisco's contribution, and the town where the Tisco plant was situated was named Jamshedpur after Jamshedji. The railway station was named Tata Nagar. Under Dorabji's leadership, the Tata Group's business had multiplied. Dorabji Tata passed away in 1932, but before he left, he had diversified the Tata Group into steel, power, consumer products, banking and insurance. After Dorabji Tata, a young family member, JRD Tata, became the chairman in 1938. JRD Tata had joined the business back in 1925 and was learning the ropes at the Tisco plant. He always had a keen interest in aviation, and in 1932 he started Tata Aviation Services, which became India's first airline to provide passenger and cargo transport services. JRD Tata himself flew the first flight. As a result, he became India's first ever commercial pilot. After becoming chairman, JRD Tata realized that India had to import essential chemicals like soda ash and caustic soda. These chemicals were important for making products like glass, textiles, soaps and detergents. He wanted these chemicals to be produced domestically. In 1939, he built a chemical plant in Mithapur, Gujarat, thus beginning Tata Chemicals, which today also manufactures Tata Salt. The chemicals business thrived, but JRD's dream was still to grow the airline business. During World War II, the British government seized all planes, resulting in the overnight shutdown of Tata Aviation Services. However, as soon as the war ended, JRD decided to re-enter the airline business. Consequently, in the year 1946, Air India took to the skies. The crew of Air India gained recognition for their hospitable and thoughtful services. The cuisine, hygiene, and the range of onboard amusements were all of exceptional quality. The airline's emblem was none other than a Maharaja, representing the epitome of Indian hospitality and regality. Furthermore, Air India was consistently known for its punctuality. Due to all these factors, Air India became known as one of the best airlines not only in India but internationally as well. JRD nurtured Air India like his child, but then something happened that took Air India away from him in a flash. After independence, the Indian government adopted a socialist economic model, believing that important industries like transportation should be controlled by the government to focus more on public service than profit. Therefore, in 1953, Air India was nationalized, meaning it was brought under government control. After nationalization, Air India started to experience a tragic decline. Service, punctuality, and safety were negatively impacted, leading to the eventual downfall of Air India. Did not lose world-class airline status. But even after Air India's setback, JRD Tata did not leave any stone unturned in growing the Tata Group. He observed that there was no Indian cosmetic brand in the country even after independence, so he started Lakme. Lakme is a French word which means Lakshmi in Hindi. JRD deliberately did not give this brand an Indian name. He understood that Indian women were obsessed with foreign brands and considered only foreign brands as quality. By naming it, he gave the cosmetic brand international level aspirational value. But in reality, Lakme still had a deep connection with India. Besides this, JRD Tata bought a factory in Jamshedpur that made railway engines and started Tata Locomotive and Engineering Company Limited, which later became Telco. Initially, Telco only made steam engines for railways, but JRD soon expanded into truck manufacturing by launching Tata 4 and 7 trucks. They became very popular for their slim and strong design and captured 70% market share, beating international brands. The company that made engines and trucks, Telco, is known today as Tata Motors. Apart from business, JRD Tata helped India during its toughest times. During the Sino-Indian War of 1962 and the Indo-Pak War of 1965, he assured the government of all kinds of support. He sent Tata engineers to Delhi so they could help the country. In manufacturing military equipment, he used his Air India experience to create a 10-year defense preparedness plan for the Indian Air Force. This report included requirements for signaling equipment, radar, and spare parts. The government and the Indian Air Force benefited greatly from this report. For his contributions, the President of India appointed him as an honorary Air Commodore in the Indian Air Force. By 1991, JRD Tata had brought the number of Tata Group companies to 84. They generated 24,000 crore in revenue and employed 270,000 people. But now, at the age of 87, it was time for him to hand over the command of the Tata Group to someone else. Therefore, JRD Tata chose a promising member of the Tata family as the new chairman. And this new chairman was Sir Ratan Tata. About 30 years before becoming chairman in 1991, Sir Ratan Tata was studying architecture in the USA until he received a letter from JRD Tata asking him to join India's business. Ratan Tata joined Tata Steel in India and started working there as a regular worker. Seeing his dedication and business talent, he was given bigger and bigger responsibilities one after another. Before becoming chairman, he turned around the losses of the mill and made it profitable. He successfully resolved a major labor unrest at Telco. And Tata's Nelco company, which made radios and televisions, increased its revenue manifold. It was increased from Rs 200 crore to Rs 200 crore. When Sir Ratan Tata became chairman in 1991, he knew that the Tata Group was performing well from the outside, but in reality, it was lagging behind in many things. He felt that the group is far behind in technology like computing and AI, and the group has not done anything unique for a long time. He wanted to do something revolutionary for the Tata Group through India. With this mindset, he saw that India did not have any such car that could be developed from design to production. All this happened in India. That is why in 1995, Ratan Tata decided to make 100% Indian cars. A car that is spacious, futuristic, affordable and gives mileage. But there was a problem. The cost of setting up a new manufacturing plant was around $2 billion, which was a huge amount. Tata Motors bought an old Nissan plant in Australia at 1/5 cost. This entire plant was dismantled and brought to India, and in Pune was constructed. Ratan Tata played a significant role in the design of the vehicle before it was finally introduced in 1919. Being an Indian automobile, Indy was derived from Indian and combined with CA to name it Indica. He noted that the primary concentration of TCS was directed at offering managerial services, including data processing and accounting, to companies within India. A very basic level job. That is why Ratan Tata shifted TCS's focus from administrative services to software services, after which TCS started making customized software for India's and even the world's largest organization. Ratan Tata also brought the IPO of TCS, which got funding to expand the company, and with these steps, TCS is still the biggest IT company in India today. After the success of TCS, Sir Ratan Tata returned to Tata Motors. He saw that the majority of India, the middle class, can't afford a car. That's why the whole family had to be forced to get stuck in a scooter, which was very uncomfortable and unfair. Sir Ratan Tata's dream was to transform the Indian middle class from a scooter to a car. That is why he announced that he will launch a car whose price will be only Rs 1,000,000. Keeping its promise, in 2009, it launched at a price point of Rs 1,000,000 Tata Nano, but unfortunately Nano a failure. It was proved Nano was the biggest advantage. This became its biggest disadvantage at its cheap price. In India, people see the car as a status symbol. Whoever owns a car is considered successful. But because of the cheap price of the Nano and its design, people brandy it like the world's cheapest car matchbox and even covered auto rickshaw. Where other car owners used to feel proud because of their car, the owners of Nano used to feel embattled because of their car. And that is why Nano, a proven failure. Jamshedji took many other such initiatives, but his most impactful initiative was to start a steel business. In India, steel was needed to develop every industry like construction, railways and manufacturing. It was his dream to open a steel plant in India. He spent 17 years of his life in India, quality iron and put into finding. Iron is the most important raw material for making steel. But sadly, Jamshedji had to face continuous failures. Then finally in 1919, he got rich iron and reserves in Bengal province, after which he immediately started iron and mining and set up a steel plant. But unfortunately, Jamshedji himself could not see steel being made in India with his own eyes, because in 1904, at the age of 65, he took his last breath. Jamshedji's vision and his dreams were so grand, it was not possible for them to complete their lives. His son Torabji Tata took the responsibility of fulfilling all the rest of his dreams. Jamshedji believed that India lagged far behind Western countries in scientific research and education. He wanted to establish an institution in India that would produce world-class researchers and scientists here. That is why Dorabji Tata took the help of the Maharaja of Mysore and established the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore in 1909. Nobel laureate C.V. Raman became the first director of IASC. Go ahead. Came. AST delivered India's first supercomputer Param and India's first indigenous aircraft. He made an important contribution to the development of Hansa. ISC has produced world-class scientists and researchers who have transformed India. Similarly, India today needs such business leaders who can take the country's economy to the next level by building businesses, and an innovative business school has recently been opened in India to create these business leaders. Apart from education, Jamshedji came to generate electricity. He also dreamed of a hydroelectric plant. In this project, power generation was to be done by using the Dudhsagar Falls located in the Goa-Maharashtra border. Dorabji invested 7,000 workers and built artificial lake dams and channels. In 1911, the plant was ready and power generation started. Many mills and businesses in Mumbai started getting power from this power plant, and today we know this company as Tata Power. Finally, Jamshedji started the work of the steel plant. Torabji Tata also took the responsibility to complete it. In 1907, he established a limited company and announced an IP of 23,000,000 for the steel plant. At that time, due to the Swadeshi Andolan, about 8,000 people invested in it. In just 2 weeks, the company was named Tata Steel, an iron company, i.e. Tisco, and finally the first steel was produced from Tisco in 1912. Only 2 years later, in 1914, the World War I started and Britain's steel demand increased dramatically. the shot was up. They have tax trucks, railways for all these wars. But Tata Motors learned a lot about consumer behavior from this failure, which can be seen in their lineup today. Today, Tata Motors has become the highest revenue earning company of the Tata Group. Finally, Sir Ratan Tata deeply wanted Indian companies to do business not only in India but all over the world. And that is why, to expand into foreign markets, he started acquiring foreign brands one after another. For instance, Tata Motors acquired Jaguar, and to expand in the global luxury market, to expand in the global tea and coffee market, they acquired the British brand Tetley and the US brand 8 O'Clock Coffee. Similarly, every major company of Tata, such as Tata Steel, TCS, Tata Chemicals and IHCL, also made acquisitions. And today, more than half of Tata Group's revenue comes from outside India. The list of achievements Tata Group has made under Sir Ratan Tata's leadership is very long. Be it making the world's slimmest watch by Titan or TCS, creating one of the most powerful supercomputers in the world, or disrupting the television market by launching Tata Sky, Tata Group has achieved success in almost every area. Sir Ratan Tata says that if you want to walk fast, walk alone, but if you want to walk far, walk together. Tata Group has always done business with this philosophy. On one hand, they have built large companies, and on the other, they have built schools, colleges and hospitals too. Tata Group has always thought of their investors, their employees, customers, and ultimately their country. That is why today, they not only have immense success, but also much more respect from people. This was the story of Tata Group